Hi guys, it's your Pontiff, Archibald Chesterfield III. And today guys, I want to build a classic Patek watch collection for the price of a very nice Mercedes-Benz SL. So I went on to Car Auto Trader and I had a look at what is a Mercedes-Benz. Let's set a budget of 60,000 American dollars. What can we get for 60,000 American dollars? Well, we can get a 1 or 2 year old Mercedes-Benz SL, SL 400 or SL 450 for about 60,000. If we invested that into Patek, let's build a classic Patek collection with long-term future. So I've amassed an ensemble here of 3 Pateks to give you a perfect 3-piece Patek Philippe collection. What have I chosen? Let's have a look and let's see if you agree with the choices. So firstly, we're going to go Patek Philippe. We're going to go yellow gold. Yellow gold seems to be out of flavor at the moment. And I got to tell you, I personally really strongly believe in buying the least desirable gold at the time because it always swings back. And at the moment, yellow gold is the least produced. So I've got a feeling yellow gold will come back into fashion and these are going to have a little bit of an added benefit. Yellow gold is also traditionally in Patek 10% cheaper than white gold or rose gold. So let's start. So for starters, we're going to start with, let's have a look at the grail of the 3-piece combo meal deal. So I want 3 very unique, very different pieces. So the first piece is we're going to go for a Patek Philippe 5110. Now, this piece here is really special because this is Patek's first world time since a long hiatus. That's correct, because Patek's made the world time since the 30s. Probably the most famous is the 2523, which sort of petered out in the 60s. So Patek relaunched the world time in year 2000. This is the modern world time for Patek, and it was a huge success. Some would say that the 5110 series, which is what's being displayed here, has the most beautiful guilloche dial. And I'd have to agree, I think the guilloche is beautiful. The other thing I love about this model here is the fact the font they have used for the cities. The font, I think, is absolutely gorgeous. The hands, that's a bit of a sticking point. Some people really love them. Some people say, well, it's hard to tell the minute from the hour. But I think once you get used to it, it's not a problem. This case also, very, very rounded Rococo design case. It had the crown guards. That was a new trend that Patek started in the early 2000s. That's correct. They did this on a few models. Famously, the 5107. They did it on the 5134 Travel Time Calatrava. And they even did it on the 5125 Annual Calendar Limited Edition. So it's got a very sporty, early noughties flavor to it. These type of piece here, a piece like this here, how much is it? Well, if you go on Chrono 24 and you say, well, I want a box papers one, really nice condition, make sure it has the deployant clasp. Some people have changed it for the tang buckle. The world time always came with the deployant clasp. It's a 14 millimeter end. It tapers down from 20 mils to 14 mils. It's the deployant buckle. These here are about $25,000 US. $25,000 US will get you a really nice 5110. This one before us here is one that's just come back from a service. Try and get some service history. Although the service isn't ridiculously expensive, it's nice to have a service history on these pieces. This is a watch I would probably only entrust to Patek to service. It does make a difference. So this piece here, the movement on it, it uses the wonderful 240 movement, the 240, which is the legendary movement developed in the 70s. This movement here is what powers things like the 3940 perpetual calendar. It powers the famous Nautilus 5712. It's their high-end Patek automatic movement. It's a beautiful movement. So this is the cornerstone of the collection here. We are looking at the Patek Philippe 5110. World time, absolutely stunning. This is a 5110J. J signifies yellow gold. Now, the next piece, what do we want to buy next in our collection? Well, we want to have some clear functions. And I've gone for Patek's signature calendar models. Now, this here is a 5003. This was Patek, well, this was the world's first commercial annual calendar. That's correct, an annual calendar. Before this watch came out, you either had a date model, like a date just or a day date, which you adjusted 5 times a year. You had to, because it always went to 31. Or you went to a perpetual calendar, like a 3940. This here is the 5035, the world's first annual calendar. It needs setting only in February. That's correct. So this particular piece here, it's a 37mm piece, but it does wear a little bit small. The story is Philippe Stern, at the time when this was being developed, he wanted it to be thinner. He wanted it to be very similar in profile and size to a 3940, which is the perpetual calendar. Interestingly enough, did you know the annual calendar has more parts than the perpetual calendar? That's right. Normally, the more parts, it means it's more expensive. But the annual calendars, they're about half the price of a perpetual calendar. This particular example here is the 5035, and it's relatively a bargain. When they first came out, these came out in 1996, they were selling over retail. Now, these here have been often a bit neglected. Because they do wear a little bit small, they're a 37mm watch, but I think honestly it wears like a 36. It's quite a tall watch because of the actual mechanism for the annual calendar. But it is a relatively short. The lug to lug is not as long as a 5196, 5296. So it does wear a little bit smaller. It also uses a 19mm strap, which tapers down to 14mm tang buckle. The 5035 came standard on a tang buckle. It uses the, as you can see here is a tool, the stylus, the Patek stylus, which is used to set the functions on the side of the case. There are pusher holes here, and that's to advance the date and functions of the watch. We'll have a look at the other side, and you can see them here as well. The 5035 has been a little bit neglected in recent times. People have, Patek has introduced so many annual calendars. So it's kind of a bit of a situation that there's so many nice annual calendars. There's the 5035 then evolved into the 5036, then it evolved into the 5146. They did a platinum model, the 5056, and I got to be totally honest with you, I think the original annual calendar has got a lot of scope. A lot of scope. Highly collectible reference point. This was the first of that fantastic series. So many makers have brought out annual calendars, including Rolex, Omega, to name but a few. Even Lange has a annual calendar, and it's all due to this little baby here. That's right, the 5035, the first commercial annual calendar released. So how much can you get one of these for? This is actually a recently serviced piece. You can pick up a nice example of the annual calendar for about 20,000 American dollars, 20,000 US. Try and get box papers. Papers is kind of very cool to have. I mean, it's not as important as the Rolex market, but papers always, you can get an extract from the archive, but the certificate of origin is always better to have and to behold. So for $20,000, you get a complicated Patek. These were the start of the Useful Complication series. And it's very interesting. These are beautiful, complicated Pateks. And I always wanted a Patek with a couple of different eyes, whether it's a chronograph eyes or an annual calendar or perpetual calendar. I thought the expensive Pateks were the additional eyes there. So this has got three clear eyes. You've got the day, you've got the month, and you've also got 24-hour time. So very, very tastefully done. The 5035, 20,000 US dollars for a nice example is not ridiculous money. It's not terrible money. The stylus is here. If you can make sure you get one of those. They're a couple $100 on the pre-owned market for the stylus itself. So try and get as much goodies as you can. So we've got two pieces. We've got the 5110 with the 240 movement. That's Patek's legendary micro rotor. We've got the 315 movement on the 5035. That movement then became the 324 movement. So that's the big rotor automatic. We need a third piece. Let's go for a classic Calatrava, classic dress watch with manual wind. So what I'm going to show you here is probably the quintessential Patek Philippe Calatrava. This is the 5196. It is a throwback to the original. The first Calatrava was reference 96, so this is the 5196. It's basically like the original. The original Calatrava was 31 mils, except this here is a large 37. It wears a lot bigger than the 37 mil 5035. The 5196, one of the quintessential. Patek Philippe calls this the Grand Classique, Le Grand Classique. And you can see why. This is just absolutely beautifully done. This is the granddaddy. This is the reference point of reference points. This is Patek Philippe at its best. This uses the 215 manual wind movement. The criticism on this watch here is it does not have the display back. The other two Pateks, the World Time and the World Time 5110 and the annual calendar 5035, both have display backs. The 5196, using the 215 movement, does not have a display back. It's got a solid gold back. And that's partly because the movement was designed for smaller watches and it uses a metal spacer, which I don't think is terrible. There's nothing wrong with that. But Patek has decided not to have the display back. If you look at the lugs on this here, the Rococo lugs here, it is very different to the 5110 and the 5035. It's more staid in its appearance. This piece here, 5196. It carries on the long tradition, the reference 96. Before the 5196, there was a 5096, which was a 33mm version of this particular piece here itself. 5196s traditionally came on a tang buckle. Here's a tang buckle fitted here. It tapers down to 16 mils. The thing is, this is actually quite a large wearing watch. It's a 21 mil strap at the top, tapering down to 16 mils. So this here is a very cool, very beautiful watch here. I've owned a few Calatravas. I had a 5296, which was 38 mils, and I've got to tell you, the 5196 does not feel much smaller than the 5296. So there we go, just having a look at the beautiful opaline dial on this piece here. It is absolutely stunning. This is a very attractive piece indeed. Absolutely beautiful. This is Patek Philippe. This is the Le Grand Classique from Patek Philippe. So it's a wonderful piece there. It's for the connoisseur to enjoy. So, guys, there we have 3-piece meal deal. 3 Patek Philippe's for the price of a rather nice Mercedes-Benz SL on the pre-owned market. We could build a reference point Patek Philippe collection. 5110 world time, 5035 annual calendar, and a 5196. This here, if you've got $60,000 to spend, what would you rather do? The SL or the Patek Philippe collection? I think for my money, I would have to go Patek Philippe. The problem is with the SL, in 5 years' time, you're going to have halved your money, and in 10 years' time, it's going to basically, it'll be kind of virtually worthless. So with your Pateks, your money will be safe. Your money will be incredibly safe. That's not to say the SL wouldn't be fun. I'm sure the SL would be absolutely amazing. So, guys, put some comments below. What would you pick? Would you pick an SL or would you pick a 3-piece Patek meal deal hunger buster? A combo meal deal like no other. I'm ArchieLuxury. This has been an exclusive look at a Patek collection. 3 very clear reference points. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and put some nasty comments below. I'm Paul Pluta. Tell me what you guys think of that.
All snuggle up in each other's arms. Do you mind if I stay by your side? Just looking at you all the time goes by. Do you mind if I stay by your side? Just looking at you all the time goes by.
Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mark Goldberg for Archie Luxury AC3, the Pontiff Satan de Ville. I want to sincerely thank you for having sat through this video because I know it was awful, but you know what? You do it for the greater good of humanity. Thank you so much. Now, a couple of quick pieces of homework. Now that you've watched this video, I would like you to hit thumbs up. If you must, hit thumbs down, but if you'd hit thumbs up, I would especially appreciate it. Go ahead and leave a really nasty comment and tell him how awful this content was, but most importantly of all, the entire reason that I am linking up with Archie Luxury in the first place. I am a published author. Let dogs be dogs. Available in bookstores, Amazon, and electronically somewhere near you. Remember, Archie Luxury. He's not just a figment of your imagination.